first. All right. So, tell me something that you have lost in the past, but then you found it, like months later or weeks later, and you're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I found that."
My mind.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, that's interesting. Because where did you find it? In the gutter.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Once it gets away from all the other craziness, it comes back.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you think of anything you've lost in the past?
Library book.
Oh,
I lost it
interesting.
for almost a year. I paid for it.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Was it like in a closet somewhere?
It was under. It was. I can't remember where it was.
Okay. Okay.
It was somewhere around my bed. I remember that.
Because in the book I'm reading, Ask Your Guides, the author gives many really powerful examples, like losing your engagement ring.
I lost my wedding ring.
Oh, did you find it?
Yeah,
Where?
under the washing machine.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And a big funky, and I was like, wow, I'm clean under it. I was like, man, that's the prettiest dust bunny I've ever seen in my life. Because it had a gold tinge. It's like, wait, is that the light? And I'm like, shaking off, and there goes my wedding ring. Whee! It's like, hot damn, what do you know?
Hey Chris, maybe you went
It-
and lose your
it's-
library
it
books with your
slid
card
off my
cataloging system
finger.
or something.
Okay.
And when it
This
rolled
was-
underneath the washer, I mean, I looked all
This
over
was
the
like
kitchen
10
floor.
years
Because I knew it wasn't going to go
didn't
too
know
far.
which one
Okay.
it was.
And it wiggled under there.
How long was it before you found it?
That was pretty good.
Like how long was
8
it?
months. 6
Oh,
8 months.
wow.
Which the entire almost the entire time of my
What'd you
second
think of that
pregnancy.
video?
Gosh.
Imagine all the conservative old yayas down here looking at me being out to here and seeing no wedding ring
Oh,
out there, and
yeah.
I'm like, look at the tan line grandma.
Okay. Johnny Lewis, something you've lost maybe when you were a child, then you found it later?
I don't know about when I was a child, but I'm forever losing my books.
Okay.
Wiccan books. I have boohoo thousands of Wiccan books.
Yes.
They disappear, and then all of a sudden I say, who got this one? Where did this one go? And then all of a sudden,
They come back.
6 is back on the floor, back
Favorite
behind
memory
something, underneath the couch, somewhere.
Well, here's what I want you to think about. Could there be a reason you found that?
Yeah, because I really need to look up something.
There you go. That's what I want you to think about. Keep that in mind, that if you lost something and then you found it much, much later, maybe there was a reason you found it other than just coincidence. All right, so tell me something that you've lost and you never found again.
Ring. It was a middle school ring. The ones that really don't matter what you buy anyway.
Okay.
Class ring,
Like
yeah.
a class ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still
Earrings.
Earrings?
Earrings.
Oh, earrings,
Oh,
yes,
gosh, yeah.
yes.
Earrings,
Earrings.
class ring.
Okay, please remind me your name.
Alice.
Alex?
Alice.
Alice. Something you've lost and never found again?
It's lost a debit card before.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
good.
ouch.
That's not good.
No.
Yeah.
Anything
You
you
cancel it.
Oh, yeah, then you're okay again. Anything you've lost and never found?
Class rings. One middle school, one high school.
Oh, wow.
You too?
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
my high school, I did my
no
middle
idea
school, and
where
did my
that
university.
And the phones.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
that could be
fine.
significant. So I'm reading a book by Sonia Choquette. And she says that there are a group of spirit guides that can help you find anything you've lost in your life. When you just call upon them and ask for their help, politely. Yes.
Yeah. Nice themselves.
Now, according to Sonia Choquette,
It sounds familiar.
yeah, she's written several books, but this was actually the first I've read by her. Someone like Lewis, who found a book like 6 months later, the runners may have actually helped him find that missing object because they wanted him to see it, because there was something in that book they wanted him to read. So, but before we discuss, because this is a very short class on the runners, but before we discuss that, we have to cover what spirit guides are. Because maybe not everyone is familiar with spirit guides. Okay, so Molly, what is a spirit guide?
That's a good question.
Okay, very good.
Basically, I want to say, for lack of a better word, your guardian angel.
Okay, so according to Sonia Choquette,
That's the first thing that pops in my head.
good, very good answer, thank you. guardian angels and spirit guides are two different phylum. So they're in two different categories in the world of spirits. So they are not the same thing.
Yeah.
She says angels are kind of like God's messengers, but spirit guides were most likely what?
People that you're
Yeah.
related to, possibly who have passed on, or
Your ancestors.
Okay. Okay. So I know you have some medium skills. What comes to your mind when I say spirit guides?
No, spirit guides can be someone who, like she said, someone who's like regular, a being that was on this earth
Yes.
that is now watching over you.
Yes.
It could be a guru. It could be it could be anyone from a different category of life that is supposed to help you with a specific task.
Yes, in this
You know,
life.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they want to add to spirit guides? Does anyone work closely with their spirit guides? You do? Okay.
Yeah.
So, do we pick up spirit guides as we go along through life, or are we born with them? What do you guys think?
I would say pick up, but I don't.
I
Okay.
think both,
both.
maybe.
I think a combination of both.
Yeah.
Both.
Too.
Okay. So, according to Sonia Choquette, you're born with most of your spirit guides. They were assigned to you at birth. My personal beliefs and my own personal studies is it's both.
Yeah.
She also says something I disagree with. She says that your own relatives can't become your spirit guides. I disagree with that from my own personal research, my own personal experience.
I
Because
disagree
I have
with
some
strongly.
spirit guides
Yes.
that are relatives
Of yours.
ancestral, Yeah.
Yes,
So
I do too.
Yeah.
So for my own research, I've found that people, after they go into the world of spirits, can become spirit guides if they want to. They don't have to. They can choose to reincarnate or do other things in the world of spirit. But this author in particular says, no, you're assigned a group at birth. She says 33 of them. Not sure where she got that number. And that these spirit guides follow you until death. This is what she says.
33, that's an ironic number.
Some people need
Why
33.
that?
I don't know if I need.
I don't know, I got some too.
You're right.
I've got
No, I
about two.
actually have more.
Yes.
I actually have
Just really
more
good.
than 33.
Yes.
But that's just a book. She's just
You're right.
talking
She's
about
given her opinion.
experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Her.
Yes. From the research I've done in the past, you have an inner band of guides. These are guides that work with you very closely, and also an outer band of guides. These are like hundreds of guides that do miscellaneous things.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting close to the runners. So tell me, what are some things that spirit guides do?
They help you out in general. You know,
With
stuff.
what? Give me an example. Okay, okay. That's okay.
Point you in the right direction, or give you signs to kind of make you move in the right direction.
Don't shut up, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Sometimes a shove, sometimes a break over the head, whatever it takes.
Put the foot to the butt.
Oh, yes, yes. So what is something a spirit guide would help you with in life? It's okay if you can't think of an example.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
Very good.
Not to be confused with a muse, because that's what muses are.
You're right. She talks about that being another category in itself.
They were not
Quitting
them.
jobs and finding new jobs.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I need help with that one
Yeah.
too. The right
Finding
one.
things you lost.
Well, so she talks about different types of guides. So, for example, some are teacher guides. They teach you things.
Yes.
Some are healer guides. They will heal you if you are sick. Let's see what else she talks about. Let's see. Helper guides. I don't remember what she said about them. Must not have been very influenced by that. I remember the healers and the teachers. The animal guides, which Jamie is familiar with them, spirit animals.
Yep.
I've got a goofy question.
Yes.
Is there a huge difference between your animal spirit guides and an animal totem? Because like I've got like maybe say roughly four to start with. Animal's my totem. But
That's a
the
good
animal
question.
spirit guides may be a totally different entity altogether.
That's a good question. I'll tell you what I found from my research, but it might be different, for example, than like something Alice has found in his life, or Lewis. So if you're out in the woods, different animals can teach you different things. But you do, always, everywhere you go, you have that totem, though,
Yeah.
of those animals you're closest to. So, once again, out in the wild, or even you have a pet that's a cat, can teach you cat things. But you still have that totem that you're very close to. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So, okay,
absolutely.
very good. All right. So another type of spirit guide, she talks about joy guides. These are spirit guides that bring joy into your life.
Where are they?
They tend to be children.
Okay.
Yes, children who have died and are now in the world of spirits. And they become joy guides. And also, it's a little complicated. She talks about light beings in chapter 19. These are very highly spiritual, advanced beings from another dimension.
Getting into
That-
that alien
Yeah.
stuff again.
Yes, that,
Yeah.
Where's the
Bring-
green guy with the
That's
big hair?
actually one.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the few guys that I have.
Like a light
Very-
being.
Yeah.
But interestingly, she talks about, that's some major philosophical stuff, light beings giving messages to humanity. But then she talks about this group called the runners, who do very practical things. That's what I'm talking about today. They run errands for you. That's what she says. They run errands for you. So, the runners are a group of spirit guides that don't necessarily follow you at birth. Remember we talked about whether you're born or they come to you later. They are tied to the land you live on. So, for
Okay.
example, when Molly was a little girl, you grew up in Ohio?
Yeah.
Yes. Her runners did not follow her here. They are tied to that land in Ohio. So those spirit guides, the runners she had when she was a little girl, they didn't follow her.
You think they're there when I go up there?
They're still there. Same runners.
I mean, I'm up there three times a year.
Yes, same runners. Okay, Jamie, you were born in Arizona? Or
I was born in Florida, but I grew up
Okay.
in Arizona. and
South area,
everything.
like Tucson area?
Phoenix.
Okay, her runners, when she was little, were probably, I'd have to study the map of Native American tribes. I know in northeast Arizona is very Navajo.
I was in the Glendale area.
Okay,
So I can't remember exactly. It's
You
it's not North Phoenix. It's more
like west?
in the middle.
Okay.
Or I think it was more central Phoenix.
So we'd have to look at a tribal map to see what tribe
Sounds like Apache territory.
could be.
I don't know.
But
It's
so
Apache or
her
Comanche.
runners
Yeah, that's
growing
what I'm
up
thinking.
were Apache. Yours were whatever.
Like Shawnee,
Yes.
the
Alice,
Ohio
where are you
tribes.
from?
I grew up mostly around here, Blythewood and
Okay.
Columbia.
Okay, I'd have to look at a tribal map to see what tribes lived here. So we know so far that runners tend to be Native Americans.
I actually had neighbors that were. I want to say they were Cherokee. I can't remember, but they were.
Okay, that's interesting. Because Cherokee I associate with, like, North Carolina. And you were in Arizona.
It could have been Navajo though. I can't quite remember, but it was. I want to say it was Cherokee.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. So here's what we know so far. Runners are spirit guides. They're usually Native Americans. Yes, they're not assigned to you at birth. They live in whatever area you live in. And according to this author, they help you find things. So, for example, and I know this is a little far-fetched, but so I think you're having an open mind. If you were to lose your keys, you could call on the runners and ask them politely, runners, I need to find my keys. I have to leave. I have to go somewhere. Please help me find them. And then let it go. Don't dwell on that thought. So you ask the runners, help me find my wedding ring. Please, I need to find my wedding ring. I'm very grateful for your help. And then let it go. Later on, you might be doing something and you have the thought, oh, well, let me just clean under the washing machine. Or let me just clean these books off the floor and find them. You won't even know what made you think to do that. According to this author, the spirit guides are kind of nudging you. So you're not hearing voices, and no one's controlling your mind, because she talks about how the runners don't speak. So some runners or some spirit guides communicate through like telepathy, or some people will even hear a voice of a spirit guide. She says runners are silent. You just have the feeling, well, maybe I should check there, maybe I should do something, or if you drop something, maybe I should look on the ground right here. She said, just politely ask the runners, let that thought go. She said that's a very important part. Don't dwell on it. And in time, when the time is right, you will find that object. But you specifically have to ask for their help. Usually. She talked about how there are examples where people found things that weren't even looking for them. That's because the runners wanted you to find them. Okay, so you've lost something, you ask the runners for help. We're going to use a ring as an example. Runners, please help me find this ring. Then 2 or 3 days later, you're looking, you find it. Then you must thank the runners profusely, according to this author. Runners, I am so grateful for your help. Thank you so much. You have helped me find this ring. According to the author, if you don't thank the runners, they don't tend to help you in return in the future. Because remember, they weren't assigned to you at birth. They just happen to live in the area. They're tied to the land. So they have no real spiritual connection to you. So you specifically have to ask for their help, and you have to thank them. Or in the future, they don't return the favor.
Do you like leave them offerings like you would for the Fae?
She doesn't talk about that, no.
Okay, I'm just curious. Just
No, great question, great question. She says the most important part is to be grateful, thankful, and mean it. Not like, oh, great, runners, thank you so much. No fake shit. Make it real. Okay, you're thanking the runners here. Okay, so, that is what questions do you have about the runners? Yes?
So, I can't really think of anything super significant that
Yes.
I've lost in terms of like losing an object.
I'm glad you said something.
Yes, because I'm usually really neat and things that are really important. I tend to always know where they are and stuff, so I don't really lose literal objects.
Okay.
Things that I think like, okay, what have I lost? It's usually things that I've lost like on purpose, like, oh, I've had to sell something to get money for something, or
Yes.
I've lost resources and time trying to do something that didn't end up working out.
Yes.
Things of that nature, not so much losing actual objects. So do the runner guides help you later on to maybe get back that value that you've lost, like trying to do things
Yes.
or having to sell things?
Jamie asked a very important question. What if you didn't lose something? Hold, don't forget that question.
I won't.
Don't forget, promise.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay. Okay. Still remember?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Jamie asked a very important question. What if you lose something that's not specific, like something abstract? Sonia Choquette addresses that. So if you lose something specific, like your key ring, all your keys on it, you have to ask the runners very specifically. I lost my key ring. It has my house key on it, it has my car key on it, it has my garage key on it, it has a key to my building at work. You have to be very specific. But if you're looking for something that's abstract, like I lost love, you can also ask them for that. Yeah, so remember, you can ask them for something specific, and you have to be very specific in your request, but you can also ask for something abstract. For example, runners, please find me love. Please find me the perfect partner for me. And let that thought go. Remember, don't forget that step. Don't dwell on it. Let it go. You can ask them again later. You can for example, do a meditation and a prayer once a day, but you want to let that thought go. Or someone who's might be new to town, they're searching for a new house. The one time you were new to Columbia. You could say, runners, I'm new here. Please help me find the right house and the right apartment, not on Fish Hatchery Road.
Very good.
Good callback.
That I want to live in, the right place for me. You can ask the runners for something like that. Remember, they live on the land, so they will know, according to the author, where you need to go. So, like Chris, let's say if you were moving, which I know you are moving, right? Kind of, sort of. Maybe. If Chris didn't know where he was going, he could say, runners, I really need to get out of my dad's house. Tell me where I need to go. And in time, the runners will reveal it. Chris will just happen to stumble on a place and be like, hey, this is the perfect place. According to the authors, the runners pushed him in that direction. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
wanted to know if she
Addresses that. Yes, so you can ask for
something.
something very specific, like you lost your box of donuts. Or you can ask for something abstract, like I lost a love in my life, and I need new love. So, and that in time, the runners will show you someone in your area that's right for you.
Her question brought up one I want to
Good.
ask. Yeah, and in regards to the abstract. You know, you get frustrated, you lose your perspective, your focus, and all your other positive attitude, go-getter, you know, viva la life. You know,
Yes.
kind of, you know, fire in the belly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like, oh.
Yes. So you want that fire back.
Yeah.
Okay, well, according to the author, that is more something you need to turn to angels for.
That's a good idea, too.
Because remember, the runners are tied to the land they live on. And if you're seeking inspiration and fire, you may need to turn to your angels. And those were assigned to you at birth, or there's this whole ministry of angels she talks about that are God's messengers. They all have their own tasks. Like she even talks about, she knew a woman that did sewing, and she called upon the sewing and fabric angels. I mean, that's unique.
like
but
that.
About that,
so
too, I got some
but
secrets for it, too.
yes, so she wanted you to call on that group of angels. But so for that inspiration and fire in the belly that you're searching for, she says to call upon angels. Not really the runners, because you remember the runners are tied to
The earth.
here, wherever they lived when they were alive.
That, too, and I was thinking along the same lines as my patrons.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very good. Okay, so
Cool.
questions on the runners. I know, very short class.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it possible to say anything about, like, sort of calling upon the runners without actually realizing it's the runners, and then not necessarily being sufficiently grateful afterward, like a consequence of that? Because, like, I can think of, like, similar processes that I've accessed through, like, different magical concepts, I suppose. And,
Yes.
you know, wondering if I might not have been sufficiently grateful to the runners if the runners are involved. Or
Yes, that's a very good question. I'm going to try to answer that. It's a little complicated. Let me think half what she has said about that. There have been times in your life where the runners helped you and you didn't even know it. And kind of like I gave the example of Lewis in the books. Maybe he found a book because there was something spirit guides wanted him to know in that book. So there have been times where you have found something and the runners pointed you in that direction. You didn't know to thank them because you didn't know they were the ones helping you. And that is okay. But if you specifically call on their help,
And then stiff them on that
and then you
thank
stiff
you.
them on the thank you, or it's not sincere, they will not help you again. Does that help a little? So there have been times where the runners helped you, and you didn't even know it. But there were also other times where the runners could have helped you, but you didn't know to ask them, and so they didn't. She also talks about that.
I'm wondering if my runners are gnomes.
Probably.
Well, she talks about
Because
that.
for me, yeah, that's super
Yeah.
possible.
Runners, according to this author, remember this is not my opinion,
Yeah,
are not gnomes.
okay.
She talks about gnomes in another chapter, and she says they're there, but runners were always human beings at one time.
Okay.
Usually Native Americans, whoever was first on the land. And then in the future class I can teach what she says about the gnomes and
Cool beans.
fairies and all that. Okay, so, any more questions? So, whenever I teach, I give homework. So, over the next few weeks, if you lose something, can't kind of pretend to lose it, like, oh, I don't know where my keys are, runners.
They might take your keys.
Yes. Well, she talks about being like fairies being doing that, but if you lose something over the next few weeks, ask the runners. You know, be sincere. Runners, help me find this. You know, help me find my car keys. If you lose your debit card, if you set it down, runners, please, I need to find this right away.
So it's more of a
Runners, I need to find a winning
On the
lottery
fly.
ticket.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, you remember that lottery hasn't been drawn yet because they have all those balls in the
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that's already there.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you better go buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So if you lose something over the next few weeks, ask them, runners, help me find this object. Let it go. Then go about your business. You can ask them again the next day if you like. And then you'll be surprised you find it. And thank the runners. I can give you.
Scratch-offs already exist, winning
There you
scratch-offs.
That's true. That's true. Something to think
Yeah.
about.
Mhm.
An example of where I've used the runners
Can't hit it, I guess.
Yeah.
is recently I'm house sitting for a friend, and he gave me the code to get into his house so the alarm doesn't set off. Well, I lost it.
Oh,
Oh boy.
No, I did not want to call him. 'Cause I wasn't afraid of him. I was afraid of his mom bitching.
oh.
She'd start bitching. Like, God, he lost that number already. So I asked the runners, help me find that piece of paper with that code on it, that alarm code, so I can get back into his house. I got it. Not
Yeah.
immediately, but within a few hours.
That's pretty quick though.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean-
because my house is full of papers.
In a span of life, a few hours is pretty thick.
Yes, I mean, there's papers everywhere, papers and books everywhere.
That sounds like my house.
Yes, so I said, runners, thank you very much. I can get in his house now, and he never has to know I lost it. So be thinking about that, or be thinking of something that you don't know where it's at, like earrings.
Yeah.
You might be surprised
I'm notorious.
if you haven't moved far from where you were when you lost them.
Those are long.
Yeah, I know.
You'd be surprised. Because according to the author, the runners saw you lose them.
Yeah.
This is what the author says. Okay, so
I mean, I've had earrings show up after a year.
in fact they're kind of nosy.
Oh, geez.
So just to wrap up, I'm going to see if there's any other examples in here. She talks about.
Tell us about nosy runners. I want to hear about
Well,
that. He's like, uh-oh.
the author is from Chicago, and I'm from up north as well, and it's very, very cold in the winter. So can someone guess? Can you guys guess what she might ask for in the winter from the runners?
For a language
Snow
straw.
Long Johns.
Long Johns.
Any guess?
Something warm.
Parking space. So she wouldn't have
yeah.
to park all the way in the back of the parking
Good
lot,
one.
and snow and hail and freezing rain
And
hitting
you
her in the
mentioned
face.
that on the page too. I remember that.
Yes.
You mentioned
She would often ask for a parking spot. So before she'd leave her house, she'd say, runners, you know, I'm going to very busy. Chicago's very, very busy. Runners, I'm going to a very fancy restaurant tonight. There's not going to be any parking. I know that. So you're going to help me find parking, runners. I'm very grateful for your help. She talks about every single time she did that, boom. And then at the very fancy restaurants, because this author appears to be wealthy, she'd say, well, get me a good seat at the table while you're at it, you know, because the restaurants are often full.
Oh, I'm gonna use that all the time.
Yes, she said, she said every single time. Even when restaurants that were very packed would always have a spot for her and her guests. Because she asked for it ahead of time. And she'd get perfect parking too. And it was after 6 o'clock, so she didn't have to feed the meter.
Runners made my bank account always be full.
Must be.
Yeah,
Some
so,
other people must
that
be.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
so lost things, parking spots. Let me see if I can find any other examples. The correct plane flight. You know, I need to take a flight to Chicago. You know, there's all these different airlines and these different flights. Runners, point me to the right one. They will point you to the right one. She talks about runners save time, frustration, and confusion. Let's see here. Don't order them around. Ask, say please.
Runners, please put some extra money in my account.
And that's about it. Don't forget to thank them.
You did. This is a
Sure, go ahead.
Did you really think about watchers though? They're neat.
No, I'm vaguely familiar with that term.
Yeah, I've heard of them too.
Well, what would you like to
They
share
may be a
about?
little cautious, but they seem neat. Like they. I haven't read much about them.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they push you away from situations that might not end so well for you. Basically, let's run the stoplight. You shouldn't do that. The tractor trailer's going to hit you.
Very good.
Stuff
See,
like
to
that.
me, that, and remember, this is just my opinion. I mean, it's a fact. That's my inner band of guides telling you, you know, don't do that. The guides you were assigned at birth, you know, don't do that. You need to be careful. Or don't go there. Or so you might even have a feeling to take a different route home. You don't know
I
why.
do that a lot.
Yes, and you're like, well, I don't know. I just get the feeling I should take Bush River Road.
I
instead of
change my
interstate.
route a lot anyway.
Yes, that could possibly be a spirit guide telling you, well, if you better take this different route because there's an accident on the interstate. So different spirit guides do different things, but I like that. I'm almost wondering if that's, from what you've read, a different category of spirit guides, or just the ones assigned to you at birth. But, oh, good question.
They're described as no face, and they're usually dressed in gray or black.
That's
and they
interesting.
just sit there and look at you. It's kind of creepy. That's why I was like,
It's a little creepy to know that the spirit guides are kind of with you all the time.
yeah.
And like when Molly lost her wedding ring, according to this author, the watchers were, or the runners were watching her, knew that. So that's how they helped her find it later. So it's kind of a little creepy, but
Well, I mean, it wasn't too bad, you know, when my granddad was alive, he, was an attorney at law, or a counselor at law back in those days. Well, anyway, he did divorces. So when ladies couldn't afford paying, they would, you know, flip off their engagement rings and their wedding bands. And he had a briefcase full of them. So my grandmother being the old-fashioned lady she was, she's here traveling on, you can't walk around without a rock on. You know, it just doesn't look proper, especially in the South. I'm like, all right. So I found a cute one that fit my finger. And I wasn't really worried about the diamond, but, you know, I had this gnawing curiosity about, well, where's the rocks? Oh, no, I had those taken out and divvied up amongst the daughters-in-law. What she did, she had all the diamonds taken out of all the engagement rings and then put into other pieces of jewelry and gave them out to the daughters-in-law.
oh wow,
I thought that was neat.
that is neat.
But, you know.
Kind of sad for the women who lost their ring in the first place, but I understand.
You know,
Or
very-
not, depending on how you look at it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we're ready to get rid of that
Could have
ring.
been a great thing.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Don't forget, homework, ask the runners for help if you lose something, or you need something abstract, like love, or new apartment.
New job.
New job. It's another great
I
example.
was just gonna go home and say thank you for all the things you've done that I didn't realize you were doing.
Yes, yes,
I was
yes.
like, dang, I should have known this before.
In the near future,
Mornings where I was up looking for my car keys and cussing at thin air, they helped me.
runners, please help me find the car keys. Let it go. Boom. Magic will happen. All right. Thank you.
Cool.